Good morning, world. Cece here. Hey, let me ask you a question. How many times in your life have you said something like this? I'll be happy when, I'll be happy if, I'll be happy when I have more money, I'll be happy when my spouse changes, I'll be happy when the kids stop fighting, I'll be happy when things finally go my way. But here's a problem with that thinking. That when never really ends. Because even when those things finally happen, the happiness usually doesn't last very long. Something new shows up. Another problem, another worry, another situation we believe has to change before we can finally allow ourselves to be happy. And what's worse, if we turn on the news, well, there's always something to be unhappy about. The media makes sure of that. We're constantly reminded of everything that's wrong with the world. It's incredibly easy to fall into that trap. About 5 years ago, I read a book called Happy for No Reason by Marcy Shimoff and Carol Klein. I even signed up for one of their courses because the idea really, resonated with me. The concept was simple but powerful. Happiness isn't something that comes after life becomes perfect. It's something you choose first. Now, I'll be the first to admit I've fallen off the happiness train more than once. Life has given me my share of hard knocks, pain, difficult experiences. But those moments have also taught me something important. They taught me resilience, and they helped me to recognize the things that truly make me unhappy. And I know what some of you might be thinking right now. Cece, how can I be happy when I have so much debt? How can I be happy when I'm dealing with an illness? How can I be happy when life feels overwhelming? Or my child's in the hospital? Or whatever the case might be. Those struggles are real. I understand that. I've had, or still have, some of those things in my life too. But sometimes we need to step back and look at life from a different perspective. Over 2 billion people on this planet still don't have reliable, clean drinking water. And more than 1 million people live in housing that most of us would struggle to survive in. So if you have a roof over your head, food to eat, and clean drinking water, you already have things that billions of people are still hoping for. Let that sink in. So often we allow the circumstances of life to decide whether we're allowed to be happy or not. But here's something it took me a long time to truly understand. No matter what is happening around us, our happiness is ultimately, I'm going to say this in big bold letters, our responsibility. That's right. That might seem, or it might even sound a little uncomfortable at first, because it means that we can't blame the weather, the economy, other people, our circumstances. But there's also something incredible freeing about that realization. Because the moment you accept that your happiness is your responsibility, you also realize that you have the power to change it. No one else gets to decide that for you. And I'll tell you honestly, it took me a lifetime to fully understand that. But once you give yourself that freedom, everything begins to shift. When you choose happiness first, all the other things in life, the problems, the stress, the unexpected things that show up, well, they become much easier to handle. You feel stronger. You recover faster. You bounce back quicker. I remember going to a counselor once during a very difficult time in my life. She asked me a very simple question. She said, Cece, what exactly is it that you want? And without even thinking, I answered immediately. I said, I just want to be happy. Not perfect, not rich, not problem-free, just happy. Because when happiness becomes your foundation, the storms of life, they don't knock you down the same way. You might get shaken, but you recover so much faster. And sometimes choosing happiness doesn't require some huge life change. Sometimes it's the small things. Choosing gratitude for what you already have. Taking a walk outside. Turning off the news for a while. Stop scrolling on your phone. Calling someone you care about. Listening to something that lifts your spirit instead of something that drains it. These are small choices. But small choices repeat over time create a completely different mindset. Choosing happiness doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. It simply means deciding that your peace and your joy don't depend on everything around you going right. You choose it. Not someday, not when, now. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I'll be happy when, just stop for a moment and ask yourself a different question. Why not now? Still not convinced? Still think your life is different than everybody else's? I highly recommend reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor who, even witnessing horrible, horrible things while he was there, still chose happy, chose things to feel good about. And I think that's the only reason why he survived what he survived. So again, take care of your mind, and the rest has a better chance of falling into place. Until next time, this is Cece, and this is Cece Talks Life. Real talk, real life. Have a wonderful day.